I started then.
That's what they're trying to do.
Mic'd up with Mikie Mahtook. Got the boys in. I got Lloyd. We got Mitch. We got Jackie boy.
He tried to jump up and he might have knocked it in.
Good time. Let's go. What a start to the Monday. I mean, I'm from Lafayette. My boys would come in and say,
"Oh God." So me and Joe on the ground. I got Joe in a headlock, and he's sitting there. Helmet. He's punching me in the stomach, like steady punching me.
Here, and as everyone's sitting around, who here thinks Ochinko can practice today after having 5 full beers? And he goes, Chad Jones, right? Chad's been with the team
6 minutes.
for 7 minutes, right? Chad's like, no, man, I don't think Ochinko can practice today. And I was like, I look back, I'm like, Jesus Christ, I fucking saw you there. You were more fucked up than me.
Be on the spirit plane had some issues. I think she was sleep farting.
you heard her or you just thought it was her?
I sat right next to her. I smelled.
Whoa. What was that?
Time to start the show. Why would I have that?
You had the circus or something.
6'3", I'm late. Like I don't even know what I'd be doing.
Now, when you do go to spring training, are you going to bring your chinchilla and your turtle? My dad tell you about it?
In the SEC is, God, they hate fat people. I mean, I get crushed for that. You know what I mean? And it's like, come on, man.
Hey, just the South, bro. You got a bunch of food down here. Like they're
all fatter than him.
Players, look at Lloyd.
You know what, Lloyd?
You're looking for a recruiting coordinator, coach. I'm here.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll piss my pants right now.
No way.
We're wearing gray pants, long gray pants.
Evening. Today is Monday, February 13th. A new look show. I'm on the road. This is mic'd up from the road. My teammates, Mitch, and Lloyd, are in studio right now.
We're here.
I'm hoping everybody can hear me.
Oh yeah.
Is this working?
Yes, we're here.
Are we loud?
We're loud.
Okay, good. Because I couldn't hear the beautiful intro. I could hear y'all talking shit about me, but that's okay. That's okay.
Yes.
That's okay.
Yes.
It's all right.
Man,
We got a big
You remember
show.
that, don't you? Yeah.
The man couldn't defend himself.
They just muted me. I hear you talking shit, but I can't even respond because I'm muted. Meanwhile, I'm asking my producer questions and I'm getting just ghosted. It's fine. It's fine. We're all fine. It's all good. We're good.
What a start.
Let's go down the Heineken headlines. If you live under a rock and you don't like sports, you didn't watch the Super Bowl, the big game. Excuse me. The big game last night. You missed a good one. You missed a great one. Of course, the NFL couldn't end the game. The script had to be a little controversial at the end. We will get into that. But the Kansas City Chiefs are Super Bowl champions. Patrick Mahomes, Super Bowl number 2. Super Bowl MVP number 2. National Football League MVP number 2 in year 6, I believe. Or is it 5? I think it's
year 6, 5
year
years.
6. Yep, 5 years starting, year 6, 2-time Super Bowl, 2-time MVP, 2-time Super Bowl MVP. His resume obviously is Hall of Fame-esque already. He's got a lot to go. Obviously, Travis Kelce likes the attention, likes to have the camera on him, and is not shy about what he says when the camera is on him. I enjoyed that. Some people don't enjoy it. I enjoy it. It's officially, we should enjoy it. I mean, he's entertaining and he plays hard. He understands it. He's going to go down as one of the greatest tight ends of all time, and he's earned that.
I really enjoy it, though, because he lives in the moment, too. You could tell. Like, he's, like, very, very, very in the moment.
No doubt.
Yeah, I enjoy it.
Him and his brother couldn't be further apart.
Oh, it is so great, too. And they know it, and they fully embrace it.
Unbelievable. But let's finish going down this, right? It's officially game week for LSU baseball. LSU baseball opens up the season this Friday at home. It's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday series. It is middle of April, right before Mardi Gras. So, of course, the weather is going to be a little cold. Always. And it's going to be a little chilly. But that's okay. That's how it works out. That's what it's supposed to be for the first couple weeks of baseball season. I think we will be there, right? I'm going to be there. J. Mitch, you're going to be there?
Yeah, I'm planning on being there.
Maybe at some point. Maybe we'll just be where it's warm, not outside.
I'm trying to get where it's warm, but I'm planning on being there.
Lloyd, are you going to be there?
I don't know if I'm going to be in that number this year, Coach. I've thought about it, but
this year, like the whole year, you're going to miss every single game this entire year.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Mardi Gras.
No.
I was wondering. I was like, dude, I didn't know that you were planning on going to Mardi Gras.
There, we talking about this.
Yeah,
we're
talking about Alex Box.
It's a sports show.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, yeah, bro. I've already asked for tickets.
I knew you have. I'm just asking if you're going to be there.
I'm gonna be,
I guess
I have to go to
that's dependent upon me, I believe.
Yeah, that's contingent upon you. Yes, absolutely. I have a.
Is it contingent or dependent? Does that work? I guess it both works, right?
Yeah, it's synonymous.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, and then I have a wedding on Saturday that I have to go to. So.
Is the wedding outside or inside?
It's Alexandria, so I'd imagine it's inside.
Oh, okay.
Or outside, really.
I mean, I don't know that. I don't know what that means. That just because it's in Alexandria, I don't know what that means. But let's get to the sports part of the show because we're gonna have a lighter show for you today. But we have a lot to talk about. Derek Carr does not seem like he's going to. At least he's not going to get traded to the Saints. So Saints don't have to give up any picks them. Derek Carr says, "I am done. No trade. Don't want to go anywhere. Release me. Let me go and negotiate with whoever else." So that's about to happen. And women's basketball had the I guess the prequel. Is it the prequel to the Super Bowl? I guess it's not really a prequel because it's not the same thing. But it had it was the opener to the Super Bowl. Let's go with that way. It was the opener to the Super Bowl, and
cocktail hour, if you will.
Yeah, and it got competitive for a little bit, and
got away from them. It was a tough.
South Carolina flexed the muscles.
Yeah.
That girl who's down there, 6'7". South Carolina had a lot of size. You can see the size. Some of LSU's girls got in foul trouble. I think this is good for the girls, though. I think this shows you where they're at. It gives them, kind of a benchmark to see. Okay, hey, we're good. We're not there yet. And did y'all hear that?
Is that the school bells?
No, I didn't know if y'all heard my computer go off. This is a new thing for me.
I know. I can tell. You're handling it great.
I can
champ.
see it now. You're real nervous.
I appreciate it. I'm trying.
I need you to give me a little confidence.
I'm not nervous. I just got look. I got some stuff on my screen now that I don't even know how to get off of. So I'm just gonna go for it.
What would that be?
Easy. Chill out with the pop-ups.
No, not that kind of stuff. It's just how do you know? I got out of it. Okay, so
hey now.
Women's basketball. Obviously, they had some bumps in the road. They are still really good. This kind of gives them an opportunity to see where they're at against the best of the best. I think if they play South Carolina again, I think that they're going to have an opportunity to show that they've improved. But they have a lot of work to do until then. Hopefully, they can run the rest of the table, somehow force their way into the number 1 seed, go into the tournament, and see what happens in that. LSU men's basketball, they are still in trouble. They are still not very good. What I did like, I was actually at that game. I went to the game. And I don't know if y'all paid attention or watched the game, but they had 4 points at the 11-minute mark in the first half.
That's the second time that's happened.
So that's not very good.
Basically scored 4 points in 9 minutes.
4 points in 9 minutes, and they were down 41-17 at halftime. They made a run at the second half. They got the lead to single digits. I think they got to 5 or 6 at one point. And then it swelled back up to 12, and that's what the game ended at 12. Now, the one thing I did like about the game is they started one of their freshmen that's been on the bench. He's been playing pretty well. and he played really well. I think he had 15 or 16 points, career high. And some of these young guys are starting to play a little bit more, which I think is, if you're not going to have a good season, that's the one thing you can do is, develop some of these young guys.
Lloyd would call that tanking, so.
Yeah,
it didn't work the same.
Basically, Lloyd's saying they're tanking, so that's what it is.
Yeah, we'll see. Listen, they play again tomorrow. Hopefully, I think they play Georgia tomorrow. Hopefully, they can get another win. They haven't won in a long time. It's been, I think, 12 or 13 straight games. That's a long time. That's not very good. But we'll see. I feel for Coach McMahon. I hope that they right the ship, but they haven't gotten to that point yet. Hopefully, they get it soon. All right, let's talk about the Super Bowl because I had a lot of interest in the Super Bowl. I know Lloyd had a lot of interest. Lloyd, let me get to you first. Put the camera on you. Let me see you.
Okay, hold on. I was building up the $3, but here I am in all my glory.
Yeah. All right. So, how were your Super Bowl bets?
Coach, I want to say 5 for 5. 5 for 6, because I did take the Eagles whenever Patrick Mahomes.
So you're 5-1.
Yeah, 5-1. Because after Patrick Mahomes went down with the ankle and the Eagles were up, I felt like maybe there was an opportunity there for the Eagles to kind of steal it because I think they were up 10 at that moment. And then, obviously, that was just a little sprinkle, a little live sprinkle, but I did.
Then the fumble. Then the Hurts fumble got him.
I did the tails. Tails never fails. It was.
I did.
There we go.
I did that one.
There we go. And so to recap the picks, I'm about to go through the Caesar Sportsbook account right now and see the old settled bets. The climb to 2K is back on after the Super Bowl.
I was about to say, are you getting close?
Yes, they're at 1,700.
Well, so, I wouldn't ask you for the whole total, but okay.
Yeah, no, hey, this is an honest pod that we do here. So I did a couple of props that, everybody that, obviously Super Bowl is one of the most highest betting things of all time. The most highest. And I think that's a fair way to say it because of how many props that are out there. It was unbelievable. Almost too many. It kind of gives you too much.
It's overwhelming.
It's overwhelming, yes.
You can bet on damn near everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I did, before the game, come back from double-digit deficit, plus 575, cash that one because...
Wow.
Mahomes, I figured maybe one of the teams was going to be down.
Wow,
It felt like it was
what a move by you.
So that one got me in the game. And then I did Kansas City Chiefs with the team to have the shortest field goal because they always get in the red zone and they get a little cute and they did their little spinny do. They did the ring around the rosy, didn't catch.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
I know. And so then I cashed that field goal. And then I also had, will the quarterback have a reception of the game plus 700 for $2? Didn't do that one. Over 500 yards passing. Didn't cap on that one. And then I had the Patrick Mahomes to win the MVP in the Super Bowl. Check that off the list. Kansas City Chiefs to my future before the year. 5 to win 60 cash. So I had that. And then I did no last play of game will be a quarterback rush. So I figured it was going to come down to the wire. And so, of course, as the way that it played out, they count a rush as a kneel in the NFL. And so no kneel down. They tried to, I don't know what happened to Jalen Hurts on that throw.
He slipped. He slipped on the turf. He slipped on the turf.
You couldn't see it? He legit slipped.
I was just amazed that
he slipped right in the paint and his foot just took off.
Overstride, slip, ball turns into a duck.
The paint was...
Hey, I've done that.
Seen Mikey do it from the outfield a million times.
Ask Jared what happened to him when I did that.
The last time I seen Mikey do that, we were in Durham, North Carolina, and this man literally threw one over the foul net. Slipped, ball goes straight up. I remember being in the dugout when it happened, and he's now the first base coach for the White Sox, but at the time he was the outfield rover. He was standing next to him, and he looked at me and he goes, "What the fuck y'all do down there at LSU?"
Hey, but where did the ball land? Where did it land?
I just told you. It went over.
No, I didn't overthrow him. It went to the first baseman. It went to the first baseman's chest. I just threw it super high. I didn't reach it. It didn't go over the stands.
I feel like we got different.
I remember that a little different.
It would have had I not slipped and had
it
some
deserved a fair
velocity
catch.
behind
Is what it really deserved. It deserved a fair catch. I know that much about it. Let's just put it like that.
Exactly. So yeah, he slipped. Happens to the best of us. We all do it. It happens. It's part of it. It's part of the turf. But your bets went a lot better than my bets, Lloyd. I'm happy for you.
I'm not even close to that.
Look at the $3. Look for you.
Yeah, there we go. Oh, you got a little EFCO on you. I'll move that. And then I also did 2-leg teaser with the Chiefs and the over, and then I doubled down and did it again with the Chiefs and the over. And then here was the real kicker. Tails, obviously, we were both on that, but Kansas City to win 1 to 6 point margin. And so I cashed that one as well. So good day for your boy on the old betting.
Damn, good day. Not a great day for me.
Let's
thank
hear
God the Tails won. Thank God the Kansas City. I took Kansas City money line. That was plus money. So I had Tails and Kansas City money line. I had McKinnon anytime touchdown score on the 1 yard 3 times. On the 1 yard line 3 times. Right. The last one, I get it. He did the smart play.
Oh, Greg Olsen Greg Olsen was screaming for him
to slide.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. He did the right thing, right? The next one I had was Devontae anytime touchdown score out the 1 yard line. How do you go out of bounds on the 1 yard line when you catch a ball like that? Nobody around you.
He didn't even dive or anything either for the end zone.
No, he just cruised on out of bounds. And then I did a couple long shot parlays that I didn't put a lot of money on, lost that. And then I did. I hit the over. So I got 3 bets.
I only want to talk about one bet because I was highly pissed off at it. I was actually kind of. So this whole thing happened, and I'm like, there's just no way this is about to be this easy. I don't know if y'all saw it, but FanDuel did this thing where they did a bingo card, right? It was a free bet, play, bingo card. I'm like, all right, whatever. I'll just pay attention to it. But basically, they had bingo card. You had to knock off different things. Everybody's card was different, right? So I get to, if you went through the middle, the square in the middle was 5 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. So basically, if you got to the middle point, you were in a bad spot. There were going to be 27 winners. First winner, $10,000. Then I think 10 $1,000 winners, and then I don't know how the rest of it went, right? So it gets to about 1 something left in the third quarter. I got one thing left. It is anytime first down in the fourth quarter. Nobody has cashed in on the wins yet. So I'm sitting there looking at this thing dude, this is way too easy. There is no way I'm about to win 10 grand right here. Chiefs got the ball back. They ran the play or whatever that ran out the third quarter. So they start that first play of the fourth quarter is the pass, first down. I'm looking at my phone. I got it here, and I'm like, wow, this is really about to hit right now. Nobody's cashed in on the bet yet, right? Hits it. The bingo card covers. The bingo thing lets me hit the thing. I'm smashing the button like this. It won't go.
No way.
Refresh, won't go. Close out the app, come back in, won't go. Close out the app, come back in, won't go. Next thing I know, all of the rewards had already been claimed. I go, are you kidding me right now? So, basically, I'm going to go ahead and jump on FanDuel right now, who basically put out a
fake bet.
Well, it's a good thing with Caesars Sportsbook.
Well, that's exactly. Put out a bet that literally they couldn't cover, I guess, the action that they ended up getting on that play or on the whole game of it. So somebody got lucky who probably thinks they were the fastest finger in the West.
It's probably somebody that works for
probably
DraftKings.
Probably.
Trigger fingers.
FanDuel.
Probably so. But yeah.
Damn. I'm sorry. I feel bad for you.
I'm sitting there and I'm like, there is no way I'm about to win 10K right. That can't be real life right now. No, there wasn't. It wasn't.
No,
real
it's
life.
not. It's never that easy.
It wasn't real life.
That's what my parlays would have gotten me to is 10K. It didn't work out. Tried it. I tried it. Listen, that's not every big game. I just put some outrageous parlays. Now I hit a few of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I didn't hit all of them. And that's what parlay works. You hit them all.
That's how they get you. Yeah.
Or you could do a round
robin. What
robin.
do you think about the Super Bowl?
I thought it was a good
game.
game.
Start doing that. I've never done that.
I thought it was a good game.
I thought it was a great game.
What do y'all think about the play that everybody keeps talking about?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you as well.
Yep, that's what I was going to get to it. So I think that obviously it was the right call. I'm not saying that it wasn't a defensive holding. I would have liked to see it not being called. Now, this is why. I think that had the call not been called, I think it wouldn't have been as controversial as if the call was called. Does that make sense? So had they said, okay, I'm going to let them play, and they go about it, you get a couple complaints, whatever, but it's not going to be as controversial as it is right now because, you shouldn't have called it. You decided the game. That essentially won the game for the Chiefs, blah, 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 blah. So, look, Bradbury came out after the game and said that he did hold. It was a correct call. I understand that. Yeah, he did hold, right? But you know how many times did offensive linemen hold throughout the course of the game? They didn't have one holding call on the offensive line on either team. Right. The entire game, right? So they obviously let these guys play, and in that moment, I get it. He did impede his progress going forward, but is he really going to catch that ball? I don't know. So I think that the controversy, it was more controversial that they called it as opposed to if they wouldn't have called it.
Yeah.
What do you think?
So I guess this is like the football watching in me, right? So y'all remember the Sky Moore touchdown, wide open touchdown in the fourth quarter at the top of the screen?
Called the same play twice.
Well,
Corn dog.
No, wait, listen.
Tony.
So like there was a Sky Moore touchdown, then there was the Tony touchdown or 2-point conversion or whatever it was at the bottom of the screen. So when they ran it again with Juju at the top, I immediately, before the ball was like even let go, I'm watching it and I'm like, wow, look at Andy Reid. He's run the same play 2 times with 2 different players. He gave the same look in a third time with a third different player, and now he's actually going to run the out and up. So I immediately thought it was just the out and up already. I didn't even think he was running just the whip and just the whip. And so when the flag gets thrown, I'm like, man, I don't know about all that, right? I was like, that's a little much. And so I'm watching the replay, and look, I get it. Bradbury said he pulled him. But we all know there's a difference between, like, grabbing someone and actually impeding their process. If you watch him run, I don't feel like he slowed down, changed speeds, changed direction, or any of that, even though he got the pull. So for me, I was real surprised that it got called because I know what you're calling, but I didn't see it actually affect the runner the way they basically are trying to call the play. And that was a part of me. I was like, man, I don't know if I like that call. So, like, to me, I was kind of off the call because I didn't really feel like it actually affected what he was trying to do.
But I feel like for the
I agree.
Yeah, see, and that's the only thing. Like, I don't think it was the wrong call, and obviously I'm a little biased because I had the Chiefs in the game, whatever.
Yeah.
But I feel like once you get
I
that,
did too.
Yeah.
But once you have that initial grab, I don't think it's the second grab that everybody is like kind of showing, like the little tug.
But the first grab is the one that had the jersey in it.
Yeah, that's the one that I think that they're calling. And
Which it was, yeah.
Yeah, and that's what people are overlooking. They're looking at the second grab, and that one had no problem with.
I didn't think either one of them really slowed him down.
No,
I'm just being honest.
I think if you're Patrick Mahomes and you see that grab, because like you said, they laid the play out to where he had one place to go with the football, right? It felt like he knew he was going to Juju in that entire play. And so whenever he throws it, then he gets to bark at the official the entire time. Patrick Mahomes is going to get that call 10 out of 10 times. And so that was probably that's not baked into what's going on, but Mahomes says he was grabbed, he looked at it, there's a flag, and it's like, look, he tugged him, and then
the funny part is, too, is I heard him talking this morning about it, and so, like, they talked about player reactions, right? You know, like I know, if you're – when it comes to player reactions, it's always the one that feels like they were wronged that gives the reaction as opposed to the other side. No. That's the defensive side. Like, no. The other side doesn't really do much usually. It's the one that feels like he's wronged is that one that gives the reaction. So they kept talking about a play earlier in the game where – Juju tried to run an in route, and he got basically hooked and turned around, and they didn't throw it. And he reacted.
That was a no call.
And he reacted, and it was Bradbury again, and Bradbury didn't really do anything. And then on this play, Juju gave, like, 0 reaction, which lets you know to me that he didn't feel like something really happened that stopped him. And it's probably because he saw the ball and was 8 yards past him. I couldn't have caught it anyway, right? So, like, for me, it was like, I think you can go off a player reaction because, you know, like I know, Mikey, like if I'm in a box, you're in a box, and I strike out on a pitch that's 8 inches outside, I'm going to react. The catcher's going to catch it, and he's just going to throw it to third, hoping that he gets the call. He's not going to react.
Exactly.
The other one, the one that doesn't get wrong is the one that's not going to react usually.
Business as usual.
It's always the other one that's reacting. So, like, I think players do tell you what actually happened in the play, and I think that kind of got, even though, yes, we saw the jersey tuck, I still think you got to be able to see it actually impede the player, and I don't think it did.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I think that I wish they wouldn't have called it because, I mean, look, the Chiefs may have just gone down there and well, actually, they wouldn't have.
No, yeah, it was a third down.
Yeah, it was a third down.
That was third down.
Yeah.
So that would have been fourth down. They'd have kicked the field goal.
Right. And there's like a minute left.
There'd have been a minute 8 left.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the Chiefs still had 2 timeouts, too. So, like, they would have had to, like, you possibly could have seen both quarterbacks touch the ball again with, like, some real time on the clock.
Well, and then you saw, you saw the Eagles try to let after the penalty happened. You saw the Eagles try to let the Chiefs score, and McKinnon had a sorry for your bet, Mikey.
Shut up.
But you saw he had enough wherewithal to be like, this shit's way too easy right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and get down at the 1.
Yeah.
And well, they definitely 1,000,000% talked about that in the huddle. Like, hey, they're gonna let you score, get down at the 1 yard line, kneel the ball out.
You know the crazy part about it though? That's the gamesmanship of it. Like, one of them probably talked about it and brought it up again and said, hey, they're going to let you score. And the other one maybe did, but they didn't coach it up in the sense of, at least I don't feel like it was coached up in the sense of, don't make it too obvious. Like, let him score, but don't make it too obvious.
It was like playing your little brother.
Right,
in
it was like, it wasn't even close. Like, nobody was around him.
Yeah.
Right. But with all that, even with the controversial call, I think it was one of the better Super Bowls that I've seen, right? I enjoyed it. It was very
best one since the last one.
There was a lot of offense.
Best one since Philly was in it, huh? Is that fair to say? The Tom Brady Philly Super Bowl?
What was that,
5 years ago,
so.
6 years ago? 6 years ago.
Yeah. So I mean, it was extremely entertaining. Here's something that I thought was pretty awesome is the Eagles led the league in sacks. Like almost set the entire NFL
How many did they have last
record in
night?
sacks, or may have.
How many did they have last night?
0.
Goose egg.
0. There was no sacks on either side, which is impressive, right? Because you have Chris Jones and those guys on Kansas City's defense too, and like nobody got sacked.
Hey,
now, what?
No, go ahead, finish.
What?
I got a little statement to say about the whole sacking.
No, go say it.
I was gonna say this. Look, I'm not saying it doesn't hurt at all. Man, we gotta sit. I wish we would stop giving Pat so much credit for this bum ankle that he played on, because I didn't see too much bumming around on the ankle all game.
I mean, he was tore all to hell.
Here's the deal, dude. Even when he's healthy, he limps.
I mean, I'm just
I'm
like, look, bro, like
healthy,
that last run that they talked about, I'm like, listen, if we got a bum ankle, show don't look bum right now. I'm sure there's a little bit of pain in it, but there was no limp in it. There was no limp in the run, you know?
Right.
I'm like, let's not look. He made a great play. Let's leave it at that. Let's not talk about the ankle. Everybody's hurting out there.
No doubt. I think Pacheco was the game changer for the game for me. I think Pacheco in the second half changed the entire game. He was able to run the ball. Eagles didn't run the ball. Eagles did exactly what we had talked about, the way they win the game. They did exactly that in the first half.
They did.
They're able to get the ball. They're able to
hold on to the ball.
Control time, possession, now, they didn't run it with Miles Sanders. They ran it with Jalen Hurts. That was a little different. I think that hurt them in the second half. Yeah. But I think Jalen Hurts said, hey, all of you people, and I love Jalen Hurts. I'm a huge Jalen Hurts fan.
Hard not to be.
I have been since the way he handled the situation in Alabama, since he went to Oklahoma, did what he had to do, never has badmouthed Alabama, has only said good things, been very, very mature in his conversations and what he has to say in his comments. He has been doubted his entire career in the NFL. He's gotten better and better and better. It shows you what happens when you have a coach who believes in you.
Right.
It shows you what happens when you have a coach that says, hey, look, you are a guy. I don't give a shit what anybody else says. You are the guy. We believe in you. We think that you're the guy to take us to the Super Bowl, win a Super Bowl. He goes out there and he does what he does, and he has the game that he had, minus the fumble. Like, that sucks. That happens, right? That was a mistake. That happens. Other than that, he played an absolutely flawless game. 3 rushing touchdowns. First player since Terrell Davis to have 3 rushing touchdowns in the Super Bowl. And he was throwing some absolute dimes.
The ball had some zip on it again. Yeah. Hey, the ball had some zip on it again, yeah.
No doubt. And so I think that he is, if there were any questions about Jalen Hurts, I think he answered them last night.
I would agree. He played a hell of a game.
Patrick Mahomes said
if I gave you the blind stat line right there, you'd say no way that Mahomes won over the other one. That's what you'd say.
Right.
He played really, really, really well. Both of them did, obviously.
Yeah, defensive touchdown, man. I don't know the numbers off the top of my head, but anytime a team scores a defensive touchdown, the odds of them winning that game are like astronomical.
And I think
right? the odds of them winning that go up.
I think that allowed them to win the turnover battle too, right?
Yeah.
Not just a defensive, So, I mean.
That was the only turnover of the game,
huh?
huh?
I thought,
You know what else hurt me to watch? CJ and GJ looked good.
He did. Boy, he boomed Pacheco.
Pacheco.
Boomed him. And then that open field tackle on
a couple plays later.
That was on Pacheco.
Yeah, it was a couple plays later, yeah. Yep.
Like, he's good, man. And I'm happy that he's playing well. It sucks that he's not playing for the Saints.
Yep.
Got fleeced. Saints got fleeced to get in a trade. Speaking of getting fleeced, if you want to pivot to the Saints.
Yep, perfect. Let's go.
Do you feel like this is good or bad for the Saints with Derek Carr not wanting to be traded, and is this an easier avenue?
So I'll give it this. I think it's
first,
good
Jay.
only in the sense of he only went to visit one team, right? So I think if he really wanted to go I'm not saying he can't go anywhere else from here, but I think you take somewhat of a positive, a little positive outlook on. He only went to visit and be around one team. So I do think the Saints are strongly still in it. I just think he wants to do it on his own terms.
I agree. That was a big yawn. Sorry.
No, you weren't even on camera, dude. I got you.
Oh, perfect. I see myself on the corner and it's confusing me. I don't know which one is which. Because I have my camera on my side, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Left is right and right is
But
left.
Thanks, Lloyd. I appreciate that.
Strong side.
I appreciate that. But I agree with you. I think that it's a better move for Derek Carr and the Saints for him not to get traded. One, the Saints don't have to lose another asset in the draft, right? They don't have to give a third rounder or anybody up to get him.
Yep.
Two, they're going to have to restructure his deal anyway.
Yep.
Right? Like, that was probably going to be in the negotiation. So, you know what? Hey, just release me. Don't pay me the money that you owe me. My contract, now I'm a free agent. I have to go and renegotiate anyway.
Yeah.
And so I think that takes a lot of the work out of it, right? It takes a lot of let's get you here. The complications, it's not really as complicated anymore. So I think it's a better move. Now,
no doubt about it. Now that he's done that, there's going to be other teams that get in the conversation.
Yeah, I mean, do the Jets come to him and say, hey, we want you? Do other teams come to you and say, we want you? I don't know. But he met with the Saints for 2 straight days. You have to imagine he's familiar with Dennis Allen. I know people don't like that combination because they didn't work in Oakland the first time, and so now they're coming back. So he's familiar with them. It seems like people like New Orleans when they come and play there, when they visit there, and so it seems like it's a place that he would want to be. But who knows?
It's also a great time to come visit, right? Like, you got Mardi Gras going on. You can see the best parts.
Yeah, but does Derek Carr party? You know what I mean? Is he a partier? I don't think so.
See, I'm out on Derek Carr after the Hard Knocks. After Foster Moreau called him out on like the baby oil and the eyeliner, and he was like, "Bro, what do you got going on?" And he lied about it, obviously, on Hard Knocks. He's like, he was greased up to try to get that tan going. And so ever since then, I've been out on Carr. But when you look at the Saints' options and what they have, he feels like the best available. And
I think he's the best guy.
And if it's a Derek Carr thing, this is the smartest option for him as well, right? Because you can leverage at least 1 or 2 other teams against the Saints. But either way, he's going to have to renegotiate. There's no way that you're going to now the Raiders.
Well, if he gets released as a free agent, there's no renegotiating.
Right, that's what I'm saying. But he's not going to get the money that he was getting from the Raiders. Like that contract's off the book, correct?
That was going to have to happen anyway in the trade, though.
Right. And so I think the Raiders kind of outdid themselves when they could have got a 3rd rounder, but I guess Derek Carr has the...
Well, he had the no trade clause.
He has the no trade, so he waived it. So it's interesting just to see the whole dynamic of this.
So he probably said, "Screw it! If you're not going to get rid of me, or you're going to take my starting job away, and you're going to say, okay, you're done with me, then why am I going to help you? Like, I have no reason to help you. Like, so it's my decision on where I want to get traded. I have a full no trade clause. Okay, no. You ain't trading me. Release me, and let me go find out where I want to be. Let me do this on my own, so I don't have to be handcuffed by you, right? So I think that kind of went into it. But like you said, I think he is the best opportunity.
And
at least present day right now.
Absolutely.
Sure.
And
right.
I mean, think about the other people that are available to sign a
and
free
the
agent quarterback.
I was about to say, not just that, and the most like affordable in this situation too. If you for a team that's looking for a contending team that's looking for a quarterback that'll keep them in that spot, easily the most affordable are the ones that's about to be available right now.
I agree. 100% agree. But we'll see. I want something to happen to where there's a little hope. Listen, Cam Jordan came out and said that the Saints next year's the year. Hopefully there's something that happens.
He was also singing to Sean Payton.
Hey, that was awesome. Obviously, we had that as a curtain call, but that's, we'll see. I think with that division, I think it's possible for them to make the playoffs. I don't know how far they can go, but you never know. It's like crazier things can happen, right? There's teams. I mean, the Seahawks, made the playoffs this year, and I think the Saints going into the year probably have more pieces in place than the Seahawks did. Yeah. At least the Seahawks thought they did.
That's coaching.
So we'll see. I don't know. Speaking of pieces in place, we're going to segue into the LSU baseball conversation a little bit. We're not going to talk too much into it because we do have – it's supposed to be Jay Johnson Mondays. I'm sorry. I want to apologize. Listen, Jay's a working man. LSU baseball is in
So
game
is Mother
week.
Nature.
Jay Johnson, and so is Mother Nature, right? And Jay Johnson Mondays is a thing. It's going to happen throughout the course of the year. We started a couple weeks early because Jay was very generous with his time and said he would love to come on. This week, they moved practice back in the day because they had some rain issues this weekend, and they had to stay on schedule. They have practice at 5. He wasn't able to come into for the interview. He said he's available next week, which is even better because we can recap the weekend. But I talked to our friends on the team, and Jordan Thompson is going to come in studio on Wednesday. So that's an interview that I know that people don't want to miss because there's been Jordan's got a lot of criticism throughout the course of last year based off of his defense.
Maybe
Jay
unfairly,
Johnson's been very, very high. Very unfairly, I believe, right. I think it'd be nice for him to come out and tell his side of the story. I would imagine, knowing him, he's not going to come out and make a ton of excuses, but he's going to tell, hey, this is what happened, this is what it was, I've learned from it. We're going to ask him the questions. That is also Ask Mikie and Mitch Day. We're going to keep promoting that. But what I want to say is, if you have a question that you would like us to ask Jordan Thompson on your behalf, let us know. If it's good, we'll put it in there. If it's not, we'll ignore it. Sorry.
No, we'll laugh.
No, we'll still ask.
We'll laugh. We might still
I'm
ask.
just joking. We're going to ask. We're going to ask.
Shoot your shot.
And if you want to get
inappropriate questions.
And if you want to get a couple locked and loaded for Jordan Thompson, maybe those will get in there. That's where you start. That's when we have to, pilfer through the questions. We're not going to ask him everything, but if you have questions for him, because I do feel like he was probably the most maligned player on LSU's roster last year. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I agree.
And I think a testament to him is the fact that with all of that negativity going around, he never once wavered or mentioned the fact that he was hurt when he was clearly playing through something, and that was never an excuse.
And the staff never really wavered on him either.
No, if I were one of y'all, is that something that y'all talk about? Like, dude, don't say anything to anybody about this, or is it something that
I just think he knew? I think he understood what was going on. Obviously, he understood what was going on. He was, the one going through it.
Right, but you see, you just see injuries leak sometimes to where it's
but here's the thing, you could come out and talk about it, but what good is it going to do you? At the end of the day, I'm still out there, right? So let me go do the best that I can.
People knew that he had a little cleanup on his knee, right? They knew that before the season. They just didn't know that it lingered as much, right? Yeah. I didn't know it lingered as much until Jay told us.
And did they even know how close to the start of the season the cleanup happened?
I don't think so.
I don't think people knew that either.
Right. And so look, when you get to that point and you start struggling and you start saying, well, he's hurt or he's this, then all of a sudden it sounds like you're making excuses because he's struggling. As opposed to saying, this is actually the reality of the situation, and I'm not making excuses. I'm just telling you exactly what's happening. So kudos to him for just taking it and sucking it up and improving throughout the course of the year. He played really well towards the back end of the season, and Jay's confident enough to where Jay puts him in the conversation of Dylan Cruz, Trey Morgan, and Tommy White. He puts Jordan Thompson right into those 4.
Hey,
this guy is going to be in the lineup every day.
And I would imagine, too, you're going to get a Jordan Thompson that has a huge chip on his shoulder this year.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, he should. And it's a junior. It's his draft year. He's a junior. If he goes out there and he plays really good defensively, I think his offense is gonna take the next jump, and I think he has an opportunity to be decently high pick. Top 5 rounds, I believe. You know what I mean? I think that's not that far-fetched with the abilities that he has.
I agree.
So we'll ask him. He'll be on the show on Wednesday. We have a lot of guys on the team that really want to come on the show that will be on the show. Obviously Mondays are their days off. That is also Jay Johnson Mondays. Maybe it'll just be an all-baseball day. We'll have Jay Johnson, and boom, player comes in after. Who knows? But they like the show. They like being on the show, and it's baseball season. This week, going into baseball season, is one of the most fun weeks of the year because now you start walking into class and you walk around campus and it's baseball season, so people are starting to kind of notice baseball again because out of sight, out of mind type of thing. Yeah. Well, they're right in the middle of your sight line, so now they're talking about it. Everybody's excited about it. There's a lot of hype.
Those lights are going to be on pretty much every night now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited for those guys. I'm excited for Jay. I'm excited for the staff. And it's going to be interesting to go out there and see how they play early on. I don't think that they're going to be over anxious. I don't think that they're going to come out lackadaisical or nervous or whatever. But it's going to be interesting to see how he manages some of the question marks that they have, and that's why I was hoping if he could come on today, we were going to ask him, hey, how much closer are you to finding your lineup, or is it going to be, hey, we're just going to go throughout the first few weeks and we're going to let the battles play out? Because I know last week when we had him, he was kind of getting closer to understanding who his starting lineup was going to be. I'd imagine he knows that now, but it's going to be interesting to see. I think, like I said, I think second base is going to be a by committee type of thing until somebody takes that position. I think you're going to see a few outfielders come in and out of that one spot. DH is going to be a roving
Whether
spot.
it's left field or
and I
right
think even
field,
catcher.
we'll see. Yeah.
Right. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun. I'm excited. Look, everywhere I go now, people ask me about the baseball team, and that's fun. That's exciting. It hadn't been like that in a few years, but it's like that. You can feel it, and
it's deserved. It's deserved this year, but now they also have to go do their part, and that's going to start on Friday night.
No doubt. And we'll be there. Lloyd, you'll be there too.
I will be there.
No, I don't know if I'm. I don't know if I'm gonna do that this year.
George talking about Mardi Gras.
Mardi Gras.
I'm over here working, trying to build this immaculate 3-box that you see. Everything is, you have to put the dimensions in. I mean, I'm not an EVCO guy, but if this is something that I could put on the resume, maybe I can get hired over there.
Well, speaking of EVCO, why don't you tell us a little bit about EVCO?
What you want to know about EVCO that I don't already know, but the people don't know, so I'll tell them that EVCO is a civil construction company that specializes in new multifamily construction. So if you're like Mikey and in the business of trying to put one in somebody, EVCO might be able to help with a little renovation, maybe restoration. I don't know. Maybe you need an addition to the house. Maybe find some dirt. That's something that people need to do whenever you add another to the family.
What?
And so they specialize in site drainage, site utilities, earthwork, site clearing, house pads, ponds, different work. Not mathematics, but if they saw this graphic, they would know that I know how to work the, what is it? The triangle. The protractor? The protractor.
Oh.
That one you can.
I thought you were doing like the old school phone when you had to like.
Oh, the rotary dial. See?
I was like, what are we doing?
See, that comes to the top of my mind immediately, and I can't think of protractor. So that goes to show where I was in school. So this might not be the resume I hoped it was going to be for Olefco. But if you do need work, if you need help, if you need anything in the construction industry, call my boy T. Leday, 318-229-5585. That's his cell phone. He answers it all the time. He calls me. I never call him back. Sometimes I call him twice. Sometimes he calls me twice. We play a little bit of phone tag. But we talked over the weekend. Supposed to go to Super Bowl party this week. Supposed to go
that's not a good. I promise you, Tyler would answer your phone call and call you back if you called him.
Yeah, but I'm just talking about me.
As long as
he knows his voice, so he's like, I ain't answering.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's good at calling me. I'm bad at calling back. Is what I was trying to get to. But I want to bury myself too much. He did say though, I was supposed to go to Super Bowl party over the weekend. Didn't make it. Lafayette, I thought it was going to be back in the morning, so, some things happen. 318-229-5585, but we did talk, and he said anybody that can beat him in a round of golf gets a free FCO development.
Oh, wow.
So if you want to make that bet happen, go ahead and challenge him to 18 and overboard, and he'll see, straight up. He'll see what has to happen.
Boy,
but he's willing to put that on the table.
What happens if, somebody around here is like, hey, I'm going to start developing something. Let me go ahead and just beat Tim. I'm a scratch golfer. I'm a former PGA Tour guy.
Cut costs right now.
And I'm going to go out there.
I think Tyler,
that's a good idea. I'm going to take
Tyler's like a plus 2.5, so I'm pretty. He's very confident in his ability. He was a professional golfer.
Well, don't tell people that. Now nobody's going to do it.
Well, I'm just saying. Well, he hadn't played in a long time.
Like last weekend?
No, he gave up on it. Yeah. He's like it's like Caddyshack.
That's very nice. Very nice read from you.
Thank you.
I appreciate that.
Once again, the number is for FCO Development. 318.
Yes.
229.
I was waiting for it.
5585. Call T. Leday right now.
Good job.
Thanks.
Proud of you.
That
was his most professional one yet.
I was scrolling.
That was without me in there. I'm proud of you.
See you working.
Thank you, sir.
Yep. Good job. Proud of you. All right. What do you want to talk about? What do you want to do?
Where do you want to go?
You want to talk about Zion a little bit?
You would talk Zion or women's basketball?
I think we go Zion first.
You got a little Zion. I mean, there's really not much to talk about outside of the fact that he re-aggravated his hamstring.
Are you surprised?
So he's going to be out. Am I surprised? I am surprised, actually. Like I'm not in the camp that Zion doesn't want to play and he doesn't want to be out there.
No,
Like,
I don't think it's that at all. No.
Yeah, I think now more than ever he wants to be out there. He knows he should be out there. He knows they have a chance to make a run. I think it's very unfortunate, and it sucks because that narrative, he was trying to change that narrative from last year. I mean, when you're that big and you're that explosive, like stuff like this happens, unfortunately, and you just hope that he can get past this little like stretch of injuries and be the guy that, the Pelicans want him to be, because he's the max contract guy and they have a lot of pieces around him they can be good for a long time. So, yeah, it's tough.
It sucks too because hamstrings are finicky, man. It's one of those things where it's
and
you can feel great until you actually like open it up, and then all of a sudden there goes the tweak again, and you feel like, man, I thought I was good. Like at 80%,
because they were talking about him being back right after the All-Star.
Yeah, right. Yep.
Yeah.
You can feel like, hey, at 80% running around, I feel great, and then you try to get to full fledged, and it's like, man, it's not there yet. I thought I was there, and it's not there yet. And sometimes, it'll bite and grab you then and set you back.
Do you think that's what it was whenever he felt like that's how you re-injure it? It was a case of him like, all right, let's see.
Yeah, because what happens, there's a ramp up, right? He's been out for a while, can't do anything. Then they start getting you active again. You kind of ramp it up, and then you think you're getting where you need to be. You get close, and you're doing the activities you need to do, and all of a sudden make a movement, sprint, whatever it is, and you're like, still feel it. Still pull.
Yeah.
And when you feel it pull, it's the crazy part too, because when you feel it pull, sometimes that first pull is not like really hurts, but it's there. And if I keep going, that's when it gets to I can't go. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, and I know they said it was a setback, right? So I'm hoping that it was like I know it was enough to where he puts him back a few more weeks.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping that he didn't just go ahead and redo it, like the whole deal, where it's like the whole process coming through. What are you whistling for?
Breaking news, boys. We just got this from our guy, Jack Ballard. News: LSU right-handed pitcher Grant Taylor is out for season with a torn UCL.
No.
Oh no.
Courtesy of Leah Van. Not the torn UCL, but the news.
No.
Oh no. That's tough.
We wanted. No.
Now, silver lining. There's no silver lining for Grant. I'm very disappointed for Grant. I'm hurting for Grant because that sucks. The silver lining for him is he was only a sophomore. So it's not like he's losing his big draft year. He is losing a draft year, but he has another one next year, right? And the silver lining for LSU baseball is if there was a year for this to happen, it's this year with the depth that they have on the mound. Now, obviously, Grant is experienced. He had an unbelievable summer, and he's a guy that I was excited to watch.
Really excited to watch.
Develop and pitch. And so that sucks, man. That's a blow that you never want to hear right before the season starts, but that's
tough.
I guess the UCL would be the equivalent to the ACL in football.
Yeah.
And so it's
Especially
one of those things that it's just one of those things that just happen, and there's really nothing he could have done to prevent it from happening. And God, it sucks, man.
That's tough.
That sucks.
That's a tough one. That one hurts. I was excited to watch him, and I'm sure, the staff was excited to see him go and excited of where he had gotten himself to. Sucks to see that happen right now.
So now we go to the closer role again, and you think that, we talked about it last week in the Ask Mikey and Mitch segment. I think now Chase Shores is kind of the lead candidate maybe for that role.
Wide open for him for that spot.
And I think it may be more of a committee right now, but I think Chase Shores has the ability to take that role over.
Right.
He's a freshman. He throws really hard.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't want to put a ton of innings on his arm. Damn, that sucks.
That's tough. Hate to hear that, man. Hate to hear that one.
And I guess I have to kind of – you don't want to say if there's ever a year for something like that to happen, but it feels like if LSU was ever set up for a chance to have multiple people that could come out of the bullpen or be a closer, this would be the year if if you lost him last year.
Yeah, now look, they're deep. The squad's really, really deep. And each, you lose – this was – war of attrition was going to happen at some point. You don't know who, you don't know where, you don't know when it happens. It does suck to see and hear what we thought would be a very, very, very important piece kind of go down already. Now, and the silver lining for him too is that this thing happened before the year, so he's kind of going to get a full year to get himself right again, and it'll probably be right around this time where he'll be ready to go again next year. But yeah,
I would imagine he's probably full strength by SEC play next year.
Yeah.
Which is all he needs to be ready for.
All right.
Right? Like, they need to get him ready. It's usually about a 15-month recovery, like before you're full strength. Like, he's going to be thrown before then, but, a year from today.
He'll probably be live before then, too. Before the 15th month.
Right. But they want to build him up. They want to do it. And maybe he's saying, look, you're going to close next year. That's it. Yeah. You're just only going to close. You're only going to throw one inning. And they're going to draft you as a starter, but we're going to show you, we're not going to put a lot of innings on your arm the year after.
Right.
And, God, it sucks, man. I hate to hear that.
Hate to see it.
Yeah. That's
tough blow right there.
Tough blow. Way to ruin the mood, Lloyd.
I'm sorry.
Real downer. Just had to break the news, huh?
It's not my fault. It's Tiger Dropping's fault.
Just had to break the news.
And then Leah Van's fault. She's getting dragged on Twitter. And it's like, bro, I have to.
No, she's not.
Yeah, no, she
That's
is.
tough.
They're because people are like, oh, Tiger Droppings had this an hour ago. She's like, yeah, it's not a real place. Like, I have to confirm with. I talked to the family. Do you think Tiger Droppings talked to the family? Like, they went for a second opinion, and that's when she reported it after they came back from a second medical doctor, and it was confirmed to the family that yes, his UCL is torn. That's how
that's
media.
The thing, Tiger Droppings.
I mean, you saw it happen
Tiger
with.
Droppings can do anything without getting in trouble, right?
Right.
They can say, "Oh, you were wrong." Who cares? Tiger Droppings. If she says it, she gets dragged even more. So she did the right thing.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. She's like, if I report that, it's not right. If it's incorrect, then I get fired. Like, you saw what happened with the Brian Kelly stuff. Like, the media around Baton Rouge is very careful to be able to. You have to check and double check and get sourced and double sourced before you can just run with something that you. I'm sure she knew it before they did, but you have to be able to
or at least
measure your sources.
Heard the grumblings of it. Yeah.
That kind of shit bothers me. Like, bro, what do you think I'm trying to do here? Do you think I'm trying to hide information from you? I'm trying to make sure it's accurate before I'm the first one that reports it. That's not how media works.
Right.
Yeah, I'd rather that. Be accurate instead of being first. No doubt.
Yep.
No doubt. But in this day and age, everybody needs to be first. They don't care about being right, and it screws a bunch of people up. That's what it does. All right, so I said it's going to be a little bit of a light show. We, have a lot to talk about, but not really a lot to talk about. But I do want to touch a little bit on.
If you want to do a curtain
women's
call,
basketball.
You got one right behind you. My goodness. Those are grade A curtains.
Right here?
Yeah.
This is great. This is my mother's house.
Hey, I'm well versed in living with your mother, or my mother.
Whoa, jeez, dude. Get out of my mom's house, bro. What the hell?
Easy.
There's one Mardi Gras ball.
What the hell?
I just slipped
let's talk about women's
basketball.
Let's talk, yeah. Let's talk about women's basketball just for a little bit before we move on because, look, they've had a lot of hype. They still should have a lot of hype. Obviously, South Carolina is in the class on its own right now.
I know.
Right? Like, the way they play basketball and the size that they have.
Depth.
They are a little bit. They're just a matchup nightmare for anybody, right? I mean, you have a 6'7" center, and then you have the reigning player of the year at 6'4", 6'5". Like
there will be number one draft pick. There will be number one draft pick. Yeah.
Yeah, like that's tough. And like, look, they're playing at home. They got off to a really, really, really hot start. LSU did a really good job of making a run back and kind of leveling the game a little bit. And they go into halftime down 10. I think they got the lead down to like 5 or 4 at one point.
5 at one point.
In the second half, in the second quarter.
Yeah.
Right. And so they get down to 10, they make the little run, and then all of a sudden South Carolina just starts leaning on them. And they just start, going inside. Angel Reese had some foul trouble early on. LaTasia had some foul trouble early on. So, like, you just didn't have the bodies to be able to match up with their size, and Alexis Morris did everything she could. I mean, first half, Alexis Morris could not miss.
Yeah.
And, look, I don't think that it's an indictment on LSU. I don't think LSU is overrated. I think that LSU it shows them like where they are in comparison to the number one team in the country.
I think that team showed up and showed a different level of physicality that I'm not sure that this LSU team had been accustomed to seeing. And I think it opened their eyes to, hey, we're really good, but there is another level. And we're going to have to get to that other level if we want to be able to play and beat them, right? Like the second half, there was a lot of easy buckets within 2 feet of the bucket. To be able to play with them, you're going to have to play as physical as they did. And I think that was the first time they got a kind of a welcome to that. And it was very hard to weather that storm on the road, on the weekend, where they were full-fledged and had everything in their corner. Right? I think that game goes a little bit different.
18,000 people in the stadium.
Yeah. So I think it was a good learning tool for them to be able to, hey, put that in your back pocket. This is what you need to know. You got enough of the season to work on these things, and we'll see y'all again down the road. I think it was one of those situations.
Yeah.
But I think it was something really good for him because I think it gave him a chance to I guess, refocus. And the reason why I say that, too. Yeah, no, the reason why I say that because it's like when you start having success, but you really haven't had the ultimate success yet, it's easy to feel here. And I'm not saying that they were big-headed at all. But you still hadn't reached that mountaintop. And you don't know what it's like to be there because you hadn't done it yet. And there's no indictment on anyone, right? Meaning the players on this team, right? The South Carolina team has. They know what it takes. They've been doing it. They've been the number one team for 30-something straight weeks. It's not I think this is what you should do or feel or how you should act. We know we've done it. We know how to play. We've done it.
King of the
LSU's
Rock.
trying to find a way to get there, and I think meeting them and seeing that on their home turf in a situation like that kind of gives you the, okay, we thought we had what we needed.
Right.
There's a little bit more. So we go ahead and put that in our pocket. We'll start working on that stuff from here, and we'll see y'all down the road.
Because it wasn't as bad as like the final score indicated, right? Like obviously,
it got away from it.
Yeah, South Carolina jumped out to an early lead. Like you could tell that LSU. I don't want to say they were shook, but like the building was rocking.
Yeah.
And if you're LSU, that's what you strive for, right? Like you see the way that South Carolina looks. Like we're one step away from LSU looking like this.
Yeah.
You know, like that's what LSU women's basketball is going to be for the next 5, 6, 7, however long Kim Mulkey's here. That's what LSU basketball is going to look like. Yep. So it was probably a great, it set another,
I think it came in a great time because
too.
They had so much momentum and so much good feel. Like, if you take that loss to them, 2 weeks into the season, it may be a demoralizer where you're like, damn, we ain't nowhere near that, right? But you feel so good because you've beaten so many teams and you've done it so convincingly.
Hard to be undefeated.
All right, you go get beat. All right, that's our first one. First loss of the year. Look at who we lost to. Look at how we lost. Look at the things we need to improve on. Let's go. I think it's a good time for them to take a little bit of humble pie, if you will. And then now you go work on what you need to work on.
And it gives you
something. You go out there and you take over, you finish the season the way that you started the season, right? And you say, okay, we're going to end up the season with one loss. Then you go into the SC tournament, and hopefully you get an opportunity to play South Carolina again in the SC tournament. If not, hopefully you get a chance to play them in the NCAA tournament, right? And so
it's not out South Carolina, Jesus.
What's that?
It's not.
It's not at South Carolina.
Oh,
it feels like the refs got a little influenced. I'm not a big blame the refs guy, but they were.
Yeah, but look.
It's hard not to get swallowed up in the crowd.
Well, but I think that a lot of times, just because I'm not saying that the refs didn't miss calls, but a lot of times when people start going flailing around, it doesn't necessarily mean they got fouled.
Right.
You know what I mean? So these girls are 6'7" and 6'5". Like they are bigger than the girls that we have. So it may look like they are getting thrown around, but not really, just because of and I'm not saying there wasn't any missed calls, but it wasn't the refs' fault that they lost by
not at all.
24 points. But it's listen, they fought, they played as hard, they played hard. Kim Mulkey's going to get the girls back to where they need to be. And, I don't think that this is a discouraging. It's not sucks because I know everybody wanted, Kim to beat Dawn and all that stuff, but she's going to have her opportunity. Listen, Dawn Staley's been doing this for a long time at South Carolina. It took her a little while to build it to where it's at. Kim's in year 2.
Yep.
And this is what they're doing. So they're coming. They're there. They're almost there. So I think it's going to be a battle for a long time.
Is she from Philly?
I think so. Yeah.
She was rocking the Randall Cunningham jersey,
so.
and then
I don't want to get into all that because I just wasn't. I don't know. I didn't like some of her interviews, and that's just on me. That's me. She's a very good coach. She's a very good coach.
Oh, I mean,
she got the team playing really well.
Okay, that's very. That Tommy Karen would be proud of you.
Mm-hmm. Very well. All right. Let's
good team, good coach.
Let's go ahead and get to the old seggies.
All right, mistake of the day, and I don't feel like this is brought to you by Doe's Eat Place, and I feel like this is. I mean, they handed it to me on a silver platter yesterday, with just when you thought you didn't have enough Jackson Mahomes in your life, or that he could finally be quiet.
I haven't seen Jackson Mahomes all year. I don't think.
Well, did you see him last night in the Super Bowl postgame?
No.
Because here he is.
Yeah.
Right behind him.
He found his way in there.
He found his way into his brother's chute, and then you can see, and there's a separate video that I couldn't find, but
Oh, my bad.
What, the side eye?
the side eye from the dad. He's like, how was this not mistake of the day. He made one mistake 24 years ago that he wishes he wouldn't have, and it's Jackson Mahomes. He's like, this son of a bitch here is just all up in. Like, it's not about you today, bro. Like, it's your brother that got you here. Like, you should have no business being famous, except you are, unfortunately. And he's just somebody that needs to just disappear and never come back, and nobody would ask any questions. And I feel like that's just...
That's a tough look.
Like, he knows he's right behind this shot.
He knows exactly what he's doing.
What are you
tough
doing?
to root for right there.
But how is...
That is a mistake of the day. That's a good one.
That makes me wonder, like, Patrick's cool, right? Like, everybody seems to like him in the locker room. His wife is horrid. His brother is a disaster. So how does he... Do they not hang out? Does he just go in separate ways?
Sounds like to me, it almost feels like he's just too nice.
Yeah, where he doesn't
Like,
have
it kind of really feels like he's just, like, he doesn't want to say anything.
I guess that would be it.
Yeah.
But you got to... If that was my brother...
But how about his dad? How about his dad?
His dad's got all the swag in the world.
They asked him about a cigar. He says, no, Philly Blunts.
Philly Blunts.
His dad's been around a locker room or two, or no?
My God.
His dad's been around a little bit. His dad knows how it all works.
But yeah, he's in this video. I wish I could find the one with him in it, but they cropped this one. But he has given the ultimate side eye to this. I don't know. I guess they're related. They look somewhat alike, but I don't know what happened to Jackson. That's unfortunate because
Jackson definitely wasn't born with the feel. He doesn't have much feel.
He knows where the camera is.
Well, he knows where the camare is.
Yeah, he does.
He knows where all the cameras are.
Oh, what's this 21 on the field at the Washington football team? Oh, all the cameras are here?
Oh, look. Are those bright lights that I should stand behind with that big red dot? Let me go get here.
And then they have Brittany running.
That's my spot.
Yeah, that's for me. But that was my mistake of the day. Mistake of the last 24 years. I think you just graduated college.
That's a great one. That's a great one.
Thank you.
Kurt Carr.
All right, we talked about spreading out the segments, but we're gonna start doing that later. But right now we're not. Right. So this one is our curtain calls, which is brought to you by Assured Partners,
AKA
me, my boss. Really,
I'll lead it off. I'm going to give a curtain call to Tubi. I personally thought, and I think a lot of people personally thought, that they won the Super Bowl commercial thing. If you didn't,
the Super Bowl commercial thing.
the sweepstakes, I guess. If you didn't look at the person next to you and or the remote and or behind you when these commercials came on, props to you. I actually looked down and tried to find the remote because I didn't know what was going on. At least I wasn't the one that asked the questions about what happened.
I got blamed for everybody in my house.
I look for it. So I think they won because they definitely got the room. That's the only one I really remember in my mind right now.
Because it gave you a visceral scare. You're like, wait, the game's about to start.
Yeah, like who's touching this? Hey, bro, stop touching that.
Who's on it?
Yeah.
Who sat on the remote?
They won. Tubi, good job.
That was a great.
I don't even know what you are, but good job.
It's free.
The Ben Affleck one was pretty good.
I thought so too.
Dunkin' Donuts.
Wasn't bad.
That was a good one.
Very Boston.
Yep, that's what I did it. Dunkin' Donuts is Boston. What'd you get? What's your curtain call?
My curtain call is to obviously somebody that's near and dear to my heart. We had just talked about the mullet maybe going away, and now it comes back with an absolute vengeance with my guy just having a day at the Waste Management.
I mean, how bad is the security? You would imagine that if there's 20,000 people around one hole in golf, that there would be actual security, and there's zero.
None.
Zero.
Coach, he shakes this man out of his boots.
All of the security had already taken off and gone down the 101 on
this guy's
Glendale.
This guy's running on the green like he's scuffing it up.
No, watch this cut though. Look, this guy thinks he has a pop. Little jump cut, and he's off.
Right in the bunker though.
Ooh, hit him with the old dead leg.
He's got
run though.
Look at the speed, and then he ends up. Obviously, this man went on an entire tour of the Waste Management, belly flops into the water on 17 or 18, and climbs onto the Waste Management sign, and he's so exhausted, he has to swim over. He gives himself up. He swims over to the police and gets arrested. But that man got a whole tour, and it goes, if you could just make one move, You might be scot-free on a golf course, Coach.
If you just get through the first group of tacklers, I think you'll be all right.
But I was proud to see the mullet hold strong with the
golf course is the place to do it. I don't think you don't get as much.
Yeah.
You don't get as many people chasing it right there.
Yeah, what's the old game? What time is it, Mr. Fox? Did you ever play that in elementary school? When they set a time and you had to run and there was one person to tag you? No. Yeah. Well, anyway.
That must be an Alexandria thing.
No, I don't even know what that is. Never heard of it.
Never heard of it, actually. I literally never heard that.
It's a great game. Okay. Whatever you know.
It's a great game. I'm sure it's great.
Didn't really reach down in the Acadiana area.
Yeah, no, not the 237 area. My curtain call is to Fox Sports, right? We talked about last week about how I wish they would make baseball awards show more fun, right? Baseball in general more fun, coverage of baseball more fun. I've not been a huge fan of A-Rod. Look, he's very successful. He's there for a reason. They like him. I haven't been a huge fan of how he, presents his analysis on Fox Sports. Fox Sports announced yesterday, before the Super Bowl, that they are hiring and they're adding Derek Jeter to the Fox Sports broadcast. And I think that's a great addition. I love Derek Jeter. Obviously, he's the face of baseball for a very long time. He's very cool about how he does things. He has great, the way he articulates and the way he communicates, I think, is really good. And he's very witty and makes funny, intelligent jokes. And I think that is what they need, right? I think that he's going to bring a different demeanor to the baseball coverage. And I think that's, to me, much needed. So that's my curtain call. All right. I appreciate y'all for...
Absolutely. I'm interested to see how DJ fits into the booth. Because they have Big Poppy, they have A-Rod. Who else is on the panel? Pedro is on MLB. Is he on MLB Network?
No, that's right, yeah.
But they have
those two.
They're trying to rebuild the TNT thing, right? Like that's what they're going for.
Yeah. For sure. But
I just don't want him to come off as boring.
Big Poppy's great. Poppy's great. I think that A-Rod needs someone with a little bit more
well, that's
not as corny.
Personality, I think. Yeah, right.
Derek Jeter's not corny, but I'm worried he can be his humor can come off as like boring.
He's very sarcastic.
He's very dry and sarcastic and like.
Yeah, but I think you see it. You'll see. Like.
Oh no, I'm with you.
I think it's a slam dunk.
I think it's a very good addition too.
All right,
I'm with it.
Me too. Can't wait to watch it. I actually watch it now. I haven't watched it before, but I'll watch it now. Great show, boys. I appreciate y'all picking up the slack. This is a last minute. I have to not be in the studio, but look, with technology and digital media, you can do anything you want.
Look at that.
We're working, baby. We're working. We're grinding. I appreciate y'all for picking up the slack. I appreciate y'all for being in the studio. Appreciate everybody watching and listening. If you want to be nice to us and you're our friends, go ahead and share this. Subscribe. Share it with a friend. Tell them to subscribe. We are part of our 2023 mission is to give away a lot of more stuff to bring out more engagements because we love y'all. We appreciate it. We can't do this without y'all. And so we are trying to, what are you pointing at?
Heineken.
Yeah, our friends at Heineken. Thank you to friends at Heineken. Hey, speaking of Heineken, when I was in the grocery store getting beer for the house, for the few people that I had coming and watch the game at my house, Heineken Silver had this nice little... Well, it was family. It wasn't any friends. It was just family. It was very small, close-knit, actual like blood family. I'm sorry. It was close-knit. It was last minute. It wasn't supposed to be a big old deal. But they had this nice little Heineken Silver display. And listen, there had some cases were getting thrown out there. Listen, I'm not a huge Heineken beer guy, but the Heineken Silvers I love.
I'm in on the
95 calories. 95 calories, very light, very easy, very crisp, easy to drink, and it's something that I think should be in everybody's tailgate ice chest. I think.
We got the beer bong coming
Give it a try.
soon.
Yes, can't wait. That's gonna be. We're gonna have segments just for you. For that. Don't knock it till you try it. But
F45 is gonna get me right.
There you go. The squad will be back together in studio Wednesday night, 6 to 8 p.m. Jordan Thompson will be in studio for his interview. Please join in to also ask Mikey and Mitch. We'll promote it the rest of the week until Wednesday. Please send us your questions. I would like to add the phone line at some point soon. We're working on that, but we appreciate y'all. If you don't like watching us, yeah, well, that's not gonna. We're gonna do a little bit better than that. But I'm glad you memorized the number. If you don't like watching us and you don't want to listen to us, we're everywhere you get your podcast. We appreciate y'all. We'll see y'all again on Wednesday. Again, live from the studio, 6 to 8 p.m. Peace.
See you.